Welcome, welcome to Real Estate Real Life. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry, I was on there twice. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live with your host, myself, Damon the Agent. Welcome to you each and every Friday at 12 noon to talk about the latest real estate topics and also a topic of the day. Now, today is the Friday before Christmas and also before New Year. So I will not be here next Friday nor the following Friday because of the holidays, but I will be here the first Friday of the new year, which will be January 3rd, 2025. I just wanted to say that disclaimer first. And also, please, if you're not following me already, please follow me on all social media platforms. The platforms are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Threads, Snapchat, TikTok, and Pinterest, if any of you are on there. But as always, I like to talk and bring my show talking about the wonderful world of real estate. And I just like to talk about what a year we had in real estate. There were many moves and things that had taken place during this year. People are unbeknownst to. Some people were still waiting for the interest rate to go down before they made a move. While they did that in the state of Maryland, the prices have gone up. But in DC, the prices have slightly gone down. So, with that being said, I just wanted to go over a few statistics as far as the numbers so people can get a clear idea as far as what the numbers were. So, hold on for 1 second as I gather these numbers. And also, if you have any questions when it pertains to real estate, please feel free to post your questions so I can answer them, so I can do my Q&A and answer any and all questions for people when it pertains to real estate. Hold on for 1 second while I gather these numbers. So I just want to go over the number in review for many of you all. All right. I'm looking at these numbers. Okay. So it's going to go slightly over, excuse me, the numbers. And because I am in the DMV area, I want to start with the number of properties, residential, that are actually sold, the average sold price. So hold on for 1 second. So these are the market trends right now. As of today, the average medium sold price in the state of Maryland, Prince George's County, is 444,990. So far, over 700 homes have been sold this year in Prince George's County, with an average of 33 days on the market. Now, from last year to this year, that is a 6% increase. A 6% increase. And this is why I always tell people to buy real estate and then wait. Do not wait to buy real estate. If you just look at the 6% alone, that increase in 1 year is more than an interest rate decrease. Interest rate had gotten higher, 8%. People waiting for it to decrease. It hasn't gone down to 2%, for example. But yet, houses have rose 6%. So if you look at the difference, even if the interest rate went down 5%, which would be to 3%, but we're not there. We're not going to get there. Even if it went down to 4%, let's say it went down to 4%, you still will have an increase of over 2% on the sales price. Therefore, your monthly payments would be more. So when people are waiting for interest rate, I always like to tell people, please focus on everything. You have to focus on the total cost of the house, the sales price, the interest rate, your monthly mortgage payment, because the sale price and interest rate are going to determine your monthly mortgage payment, along with what loan products that you use, how much money you put down All these things plays a huge factor when it pertains to what your monthly mortgage payment will be. It is not solely the interest rate. So when people are looking at the news and say, oh, wait, those people who are telling you to wait, they already have their house. So if you're looking to get a home, you shouldn't wait. You should hold a consultation with a professional like myself so we can analyze your own financial DNA to determine what would be the best rate of return for you and what would be the best move for you, whether moving forward or what. And then when it pertains to interest rate, they have a thing called buy down. You can actually buy down the interest rate. So in many cases, you can also get the seller to assist with the buy down. It all depends on the professional that you're dealing with, who knows how to navigate and negotiate for you in order to make sure that you're getting what you want and you need, as long as it's realistic as well too. So again, and the number of homes that have sold this year in Prince George's County is up over 1.5% compared to last year. So I say this all to say that while some people are still out there waiting, people are still buying. There's no better time to buy real estate than right now, no matter what time it is. It's always the best time depending on you, your finances, because everybody's financial situation is different. You can't listen to the news. You can't listen to the friends. You have to analyze your own financial situation. Now, that was Prince George's County. We're going to talk about DC. All right. And the reason why I'm focusing on DC, Maryland, Northern Virginia is because of the fact that I service the DMV area. So I want to give out local numbers. Okay. So the average market trend for DC, the average sold price was $599,900. That's the average market trend in DC. I'm sorry, that was the average listing price. The average sold price was $699. But the price of homes in DC have dropped 2.9%. So if you're looking to purchase in DC, hey, prices have gone down. Therefore, in many cases, prices can become negotiable. It just really depends on the property, because there are several different types of properties that are being sold in DC. You have the houses that need work, repair. You have the houses that are completely renovated. Now, in many cases, the houses that are completely renovated, a lot of times, depending on the renovation and also depending on the number of days on the market, those prices are not going to be negotiated if they've only been on the market under 30 days. If they've been on the market over 60 days, then those prices tend to become negotiable. Now, the houses that require work and repairs, in many cases, they don't compare to the renovated properties. So in that cases, a lot of times the prices, depending on the areas and the area comps, can become negotiated. Like I said, the average sale price in DC has come down 2.9%. So when we look at the average medium sold price, which is $699, so we're at $699, and if you minus 2.9%, that's over 21,000 that the price has come down. Nearly 21,000. That's a $21,000 difference. So that is a lot for someone who needs closing costs, down payment assistance, or also when it comes to the payment that's on the property. Because of the fact that the payments vary depending on the price of the house, depending on the loan product that you actually use, and also depending on the interest rate. And the interest rate is always determined by people's credit score. A lot of times people will hear what the average interest rate is. But again, if your credit score is not over a certain amount, that average interest rate does not necessarily apply to you. This is the reason why you have to talk to a reputable lender who can explain things thoroughly to you when it pertains to interest rate. It's just like a credit card. Many times you will see Discover Card or American Express or anyone, and if you look at it, they'll say with a zero APR, annual percentage rate. And those are people who have A1 credit. For a person who doesn't have A1 credit, they may be paying an 18 or 22% interest rate on that same credit card. They may get approved, but the interest rate is not the same for them on that credit card. The same thing applies to a house. You may see that the average interest rate may be 7%, for example. But depending on your credit score, that doesn't necessarily apply to you. So these are the reasons why you have to hold conversation. Now, the year in review has basically told us that in DC, prices have gone down. In Maryland, prices have gone up. Let's look at Northern Virginia real quick. Okay, hold on. All right, let's see what Northern Virginia is looking like. Northern Virginia. Now, the average sold price in Northern Virginia, now depending on what part of Northern Virginia you're in, because of the fact is we have the Alexandria, Arlington area, we have Fairfax County. The average sold price at the beginning of the year was 650,000 in Fairfax County. But as of this was January 2024. But as of September 2024, the average sale price is 725. And between September of 2023 to September of 2024, Northern Virginia, especially in Fairfax County, average increased 11.5%. So again, 11.5% is a 1-year increase in Fairfax County in Northern Virginia. I say that to say for those people who are still waiting on interest rate to go down, interest rate will never fall down as quickly as equity and the price of homes go up. So you're facing a losing battle if you're focusing solely on interest rate. Please keep in mind that when you're purchasing a home, the cost of the home, the interest rate, the type of loan that you're using, which determines the down payment, and your credit score all determines what your average monthly payment is going to be. So everyone's DNA is totally different. So please, you have to have a conversation with a reputable lender in order to tell you what will be the best source for you. Now, that's in 2024. That's the year in review. Let me give you a few predictions for next year. The price of houses are expected to continue to go up. Now, in some areas, like I mentioned on my previous podcast, there is a buyer area. I'm sorry, a, a buyer's market in some areas. In some areas, it's still a seller's market. So everything is always situational. This is the reason why in real estate, the market changes every 3 to 6 months. Every 3 to 6 months, the market changes. For example, we're in December. The market is not the same as it was in March of this year. And it's not going to be the same in March or June of next year that it is right now. A lot of times people, when they speak with outdated information. This is the reason why I try to give you the latest information. It's similar to the software that's on your phone. If you have an iPhone and you haven't updated your iPhone in 3 years, then your software is outdated and you don't have the latest software that's and functionalities on your phone. The same thing when it pertains to the information when it pertains to real estate. A lot of times a professional like myself who constantly are studying and constantly getting the latest information, I can provide you with the latest information. Not your cousin or uncle who bought a home 4 years ago or 3 years ago or even 2 years ago, unless they are in this business as a professional. People can visit Zillow, visit Redfin, go on HGTV, but you're getting partial information. Just like when people go look at homes on these various websites, they see partial information compared to a real estate professional like myself who sees all of the information because we pay for that information that you actually see. So they're not going to give you all the information for free that we actually pay for. But that's another conversation. So I am going to go into my Q&A and I shall be right back. Give me 1 second. All right. Thank you all for joining me and sticking with me. And again, if you're not following me on all my social media platforms, please follow me on all of them. Let me go into my Q&A, which is my questions and answers. All right. All right, first question is, last week you answered the question about deed in lieu foreclosure. I want to know, if I'm facing foreclosure and they have given a sale date, do I still have time to sell my house? Last week you talked about deed in lieu foreclosure, and I want to know, if I have a sale date, do I still have time to sell my house? That's a very good question. The questions that I have for you is, it depends on when is your sell date. Um, if your sell date is anytime within the next 30 days or less, then unless you practically give your house away to an investor that's going to buy it and close before that sell date, you don't have much time. If your sell date is more than 45 days out, let's say they giving you 2 months, 60 days, because sometimes when they come back with a sell date, they will give between 30 and 60 days. If they giving you 60 days and you're just asking me this question, yes, you have enough time to sell it. Of course, you're going to have to sell it under market value, because market value is not going to give you necessarily a quick sell. A quick sell is you selling it under market value and someone buying it and they go into settlement as quickly as possible. So it depends on your sell date. These things play a huge factor when it pertains to how quickly your house sell and whether or not you can beat that sell date. I'm sorry for what you're going through. Unfortunately, there are many people who go through similar things like you. I can always only tell you to please reach out to me, so I can get more information on that sell date. You can always DM me, or you can always send me. You can call or text me. I just posted my information right there. And also, my website has all my information, damontheagent.com. But that's my information right there. So, again, like I said, you will, it just really depends on when is your sell date. All right, let me go into another question. All right, dude. I think this question was asked before, but I'm going to ask it again because I'm not sure if everybody remember this. It said, "Do you have to get a license or certificate for your home in order to rent it out? Do you have to get a license or certificate for your home in order to rent it out?" The answer is yes. You have to get a rental license when you're renting out your property. The reason being is, a lot of times what the courts want to make sure is that you, as a landlord, are doing what you're supposed to do. If you don't have a rental license for your property and you try to take your tenant to landlord tenant court, the first thing the judge is going to ask you, the landlord, is for your rental license. If you don't have it, the judge is going to dismiss the case, even if your tenant has been behind on rent for years, because they feel like, as a landlord, you didn't take the appropriate steps and did what you were supposed to do. So if you are renting a property out, I would strongly suggest you, if you do not have a rental license, is to get one. Because if you have any issues with your tenant and you need to take your tenant to landlord tenant court, you're going to actually need that rental license in order to make sure that you get them out. Else your tenant's going to still be able to stay for free. And that's going to frustrate you and upset you as a landlord. So, yes, you do need a rental license when you're renting out your property. All right, one more question, y'all. One more question. I think I answered this one too. Is there some type of data you can get on the history of a house like you can a vehicle? So, again, is there some type of data you can get on the history of a house like you can a vehicle? On a vehicle, of course, there's a Carfax. Now, you can get data on a house, meaning you can get the property history, but we cannot get data as far as what took place inside of a home unless it was already disclosed or known. What goes on in people's houses, we don't know. People do all types of things in their house. Unfortunately, there's some people who passed away in homes. There are murders that are committed in homes. There's all types of unforbid things that have occurred in home. There's nothing that data that you can get on what took place inside of a home. You can get history on a home as far as who owned the home. You can get as far as like what type of loan or how did they pay for the home. You can get that type of information, but you're limited as far as what took place in the home unless it was disclosed or found out. I will always strongly suggest whenever a person purchases a home, before you move in it, pray over that home. If you're close with your pastor or anyone who is a pastor, have them to come pray over that home as well too. That is all I can tell you when it pertains to any type of data. Not like a Carfax. There's no home facts, unfortunately. All right, y'all. I'm coming back with my topic of the day. I'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you for joining me as always. Look here, y'all. Please follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Threads, Snapchat, and TikTok. You don't stop. So, my topic of today is what is my topic? Oh, I'm sorry, mental illness. The reason why I want to briefly talk about this topic is mental illness affects us all, whether we realize it or not. Many of us have family members who have mental illness. There are some people who are actually walking around with mental illness and haven't been diagnosed with it in the form of schizophrenic, bipolar, all types of craziness. I saw on the news where there was a homeless man and he just was stabbing people. They caught him, but he killed 3 people, and they say he was out on probation. And I think about the guy who shot and killed the CEO. I think about all the things that goes on in people's heads and minds. You know, a lot of times people are quick to throw out the word narcissist and everything, but some of the people who throw out the word narcissist are actually psychopaths, and they don't even realize it. And I just want to say that a lot of us out here, we need help, whether we realize it or not, whether we have been identified with needing that type of help. We need help. And when I say we need help, I mean we need counseling, we need therapy, we need compassion and understanding. You know, I think our Heavenly Father has given all of us grace. A lot of us, we don't give grace to people. We feel as though people should know better, people should do better. But unfortunately, no matter what age people are, whether they 1 or 101, people still need compassion. People need understanding because mental illness is real. Unfortunately, I also saw an incident where a guy who was on a dating app and he went over to a lady's house on the dating app and he stabbed her, slit her throat. And I say that to say that when I think about all these people who are serial killers, psychopaths, narcissists, lunatics, crazy, or whatever, I think about the fact that was there ever a time in their life where it was disclosed or it was shown in behavior that something wasn't right and that they didn't get the help that they needed? You know, sometimes with people, we dismiss people when we really should embrace people. We shrug people off when we really should hug people. And I say that to say that, you know, a lot of times things become situational because when it's our family members, then some of us want to be compassionate because, to be truthful, sometimes even with family, people are not compassionate to their own family members who have a mental illness, even if it's their mother or father. You know, many people are going to grow old and get Alzheimer's disease. And unfortunately, their own children are going to abandon them, are not going to take care of them, are not going to look after them because I already see a lot of grown kids who really don't, in my opinion, don't love their parents. They only looking for what their parents can do for them. They're looking for money for their parents when they pass away. And in my opinion, that is a form of mental illness because there's something not right when you can't love on your own parents who gave you birth. You know, if you love yourself, you should definitely love your parents, regardless. Without your parents, it wouldn't be you, whether you realize it or not. I don't care how your parents treated you, mistreated you. Without your parents, it would not be you. So I just say that to say when it pertains to all the mental illness, y'all, please, if you know someone who's suffering from mental illness, please reach out and get them some help. Pray for them, help them. Do not abandon them. In the state of Maryland, they have this Maryland crisis hotline number that I'm posting right now, which is 1-800-422-0009. That crisis hotline can help people when it pertains to mental illness or anything that people are going through in the state of Maryland. In DC, it is pound 311. That's a non-emergency phone number. You have to do 202 pound 311. But I say that to say, y'all, it's the holiday season. It's Christmas. People are going through emotional roller coasters of loved ones that are no longer here. They're going through emotional roller coasters because they can't financially take care of their family or do the things that they really want to do. Please be compassionate towards all people, because you never know if you will ever be in a situation like they are. You never know if you may lose your mind or you may go crazy. Yes, it's easy to say what you can and will not do, but I'm pretty sure that those who have went crazy and stuff probably thought and said the same thing. In many cases, you don't know what will be the breaking point for so many human beings out here. You don't know what will take people overboard. You don't know the anxiety that people go through, the depression that people go through. I say this to say that when it pertains to mental illness, we're all affected by it one way or another. We all need to be compassionate and understanding towards those who have it, because people don't even realize how they are towards other. People don't even realize it sometimes. And that's why I also said that there are many people walking around that's been undiagnosed with having it. I used to say that all the time when I was in DC. Growing up, living in DC, I used to see a lot of people walking around, and I can tell something was mentally not right with these people, and they've been not diagnosed. So when they're walking around talking to themselves and they doing crazy things, people just think, oh, they crazy. And yes, they may be crazy, but being crazy means something's not right. At some point in time, we've gotten made it norm to say, oh, you crazy, you crazy, you know what I'm saying, and brushed it off like it's not nothing serious. But really being crazy is something serious. So again, when it pertains to mental illness, y'all, please, if you're in the state of Maryland, call that crisis hotline number, 1-800-422-0009. If you're in DC, please 202 pound 311. And if you have loved ones that have mental illness, please be compassionate toward them, love them, because even though they might be crazy, they can feel love. Everyone can feel love when they're being loved, and they can also tell when they're not being loved. So I just say that to say that. I just say that to say that mental illness is real, and we are all affected by it in one way or another. All right, y'all. I'll be back with my closing remarks. All right. Thank you again for joining me. I want to say before I go, please follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Pinterest, and I think that was all of them. I want to thank you all for joining me each and every Friday at 12 noon. I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I thank you all again. I really appreciate you all. This was my 130th episode with Real Estate, Real Life, Real Talk, and Real Live, where I talk to you about the latest real estate topics. I do a Q&A, questions to answer. Please keep them coming. And I always talk about a topic. I thank you very, very much. Listen, you all, we're going into 2025. I want all of us to thrive in 2025, to be grateful that we are alive in 2025, because there's so many people that passed away this year and the previous years that are no longer with us. So be appreciative for every day that we wake up. Love on your family. Thank your family. Love on yourself. Love you more than anyone, because without you, guess what? You can't do anything. And unfortunately, sometimes you'll have people around you who are not going to love you as much as you love them, but you have to love you even when they don't love you. So I want to thank you all again. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll see you in 2025, everyone. Thank you all.